Hello! Today we're going to be talking about expressions of quantity and then subject-verb agreement with those expressions of quantity. So first of all, let's do a very quick review of subject-verb agreement, and we're going to review it just with present simple. So if we think of present simple, subject-verb agreement, for subjects I, you, we, or they, for all of these, we just put the verb. We don't have to make any changes to the verb. For example, I write, you write, we write, they write. I don't have to change the verb at all for those. However, whenever I use third person singular, that would be the subjects he, she, it, or one other person, or one other thing, then I need to add an S to the verb. So he plus verbs, she plus verbs. Okay, that's what we call third person singular, is he, she, or it. So for example, he writes, she writes, Dan writes, or it writes. We also have to change the verb be, and I'm going to look at the verb be in the present tense. So here, I am happy, you are happy, he, she, and also it's the same with it. Go with is. So he is happy, she is happy, and I have they and we use the verb form are. Okay? They are happy, we are happy. So to summarize, for the verb be in present tense, I plus am, he, she, it, is, and you, we, they, are. Let's move on and talk a little bit about identifying the subject and the verb, especially when there's words that are between the subject and the verb. So if we look here, the students eat lunch in the cafeteria. I usually start by finding the verb. What's the action? The action is eat. And then I'll think, who is doing this action? Students. The students eat lunch. So students is my subject. It's plural, so it's like the pronoun they. And then the verb eat, I don't have to do anything to the verb because the subject is plural. Here, you can see the students at my school eat lunch. I start, I find the verb, eat. And then I find the subject, school. School, oh, should I have an S here? Here's what happened. Sometimes, when we find the verb, we look at whatever word is closest to the verb to figure out subject-verb agreement. But that's not the best way to do it. Because here, school is not the subject of the sentence. If I have the verb eat, I need to think, who is doing this action of eating? And it's students. So students is the subject, the verb eat. This part here, at my school, that is a preposition phrase. So when a preposition phrase comes between the subject and the verb, it does not change the subject-verb agreement. The subject is still students, and the verb eat. And those two words need to agree. Let's try it with the verb be. My friend is nice. Friend is the subject. Is the verb. My friend who gave me 2 cheeseburgers is nice. I have cheeseburgers here, and then is. Some students might see this plural noun here and think cheeseburgers are nice. But we're not talking about cheeseburgers here. Is nice is my friend. My friend is nice. These words that come between the subject and the verb do not change the subject-verb agreement. Let's do a little practice. And in these sentences, you could put is or put are. The people in the front row, here we'll put are smart, because my subject is people. In the front row is the preposition phrase that does not affect the subject-verb agreement. The girl with the pretty flowers, here we'll put is. So the girl is angry. With the pretty flowers does not affect the subject-verb agreement. Now we'll move on and talk about expressions of quantity. Expressions of quantity mean how much or how many. So let's go back to this sentence. The girl with the pretty flowers is angry. I said with the pretty flowers, that's a preposition phrase that doesn't affect the subject-verb agreement. The subject is the girl. Angry, or is angry, is the verb plus the adjective. What about this sentence? This is a little confusing because you might think of the essays, well, that's a preposition phrase. And then a lot looks singular. So maybe you would say a lot of the essays is difficult, like a lot is difficult. But that's not correct. This sentence, a lot of the essays are difficult. And how about this sentence? A lot of the homework is difficult. It seems a little confusing here. What happens is, when I have an expression of quantity like a lot of the essays, this is an expression of quantity. When I have an expression of quantity and I want to figure out subject-verb agreement, I need to find the main noun in that expression of quantity. What is the thing we're talking about? So here, with a lot of the essays, the key word is essays, so the correct answer is are. And down here, a lot of the homework, the key word, the main word is homework. Homework is a non-count noun, so it acts as a singular noun. So in this sentence, the verb be would be is. So just to review that rule, with an expression of quantity, find the main noun in the expressions of quantity to determine the subject-verb agreement. So, what's the main noun? Too many people. What's the main noun here? People. A number of cars? Cars. Hardly any of the students. Students. 2/3 of the people in this room. For this one, the main noun is people. In this room is a preposition phrase, but it's not really part of the expression of quantity. So for these sentences, we want to either put speak or speaks. Too many people here speak English. 2/3 of the population, in this situation, population is singular. So we'll put speaks English. And hardly any of the students in this class, here the main noun is students, so we'll put speak English. Let's look at some sentences with the verb be in expressions of quantity. Most of the homework in the classes. What's the main noun? We're talking about homework. So homework is difficult. Many of the people on the earth, for this expression of quantity, many of the people's the main noun, and it's going to be people are nice. 25% of the food in the refrigerator. So here, 25% of the food. Food is what we're talking about, is mine. So we've been talking about subject-verb agreement and how we do subject-verb agreement with expressions of quantity. So with an expression of quantity, we need to find the main noun and then figure out what to do with the verb. I hope this helped clear things up for you about this topic, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day.